Razer has announced at CES and showcased a Razer Kiyo Pro Ultra that has a supposedly bigger sensor than the Elgato Facecam Pro. I meant to pull this up beforehand, but that doesn't sound any bigger. Like, I had this noted in my review because the Facecam Pro, the Insta360 Link, and one other camera all had the exact same sensor. Same size, same everything. What is the sensor? It does not say. I have it in my review. The articles are saying it's bigger than the Elgato Facecam Pro. I don't know that it is, realistically. But it is a 4K 30, which is fine. You don't need a 60 FPS webcam. 4K 30 webcam, has AI-powered face tracking, which everything has. The HDR mode, which is just the dual exposure mode that the other Razer camera had. $300. Apparently it's already available, so I'll reach out to them if I can get a review unit. I can't be swinging random $300 at webcams or whatever. Has f1.7 aperture on the lens, which is slightly wider, faster rather than the Elgato, but on a webcam size that doesn't really matter. But realistically, it should perform about the same as the Elgato or the Insta360 Link, which are both beautiful 4K webcams. The Nexicos are good too. 4K 30 uncompressed. Wait, no, it doesn't say uncompressed. 4K 30 or 1080p 60. Using a cutting-edge processor to transcode it to 4K at a cinematic 25. What the hell? A cutting-edge processor to take 1080p 60 up to 4K 25. I don't know what they're saying in Tom's Hardware. It's CES coverage. Everyone's busy. They probably didn't intend to say that. But you can do 4K 30, 1080p 60, 1440p 30, blah, 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 blah. Which is pretty cool. Can stream. It looks like the software will actually give you ISO and shutter speed settings, which Elgato is pretty much the only one who does otherwise. The Nexico stuff does. I have an overhead one. The Nexico stuff does as well. It does have a bigger sensor, but it does 4K 30 and 4K 24 uncompressed. Does it though? This doesn't actually say that. I thought I read it, but then I'm not... Yeah, it doesn't say anything in this post about it. If it can do NV12 4K 30, like actual uncompressed 4K 30, that is huge. That would be a big deal. If it's just MJPEG, then that's what all the other webcams does. And that's probably what it is, because these are all limited to 5 gigabits per second, even though we're on 10 and 20 gigabit per second USB 3 points down. Razer cams were called decent but crap autofocus. I don't know that they fixed it with the Kiyo Pro. I know they tried putting out a firmware update for it, and then it started breaking webcams supposedly, so they took it away. And then I think they re-released, like they put out a new hardware revision of it that supposedly had that fix involved, but from what I've heard, it's still not like that much better. So I don't know. 4K 30 seems sad for what it is. I mean, it's not. That's the standard format right now. We don't really need more, especially out of a tiny sensor. Like, sure, it might be one of the biggest webcam sensors, but it's still a tiny webcam sensor. Like, when we start getting full 1-inch or micro 4/3 sensors on webcams, freaking sign me up. I think Zcam is actually doing something like that. They were trying, Zcam is a camera that makes super cheap like cinema cameras, and their support and their software dev and stuff like that isn't always super great, but they were trying to do a webcam. Nothing's showing up as, I think they were trying to do a little webcam box that was just a micro 4/3 sensor hooked up as a webcam, but I'm not seeing it. It is so hard. Whenever they announce something, it's like impossible to get a hold of. I've had tons of issues where they agreed to let me review stuff and then just ghosted me and blah, blah, blah. But I think they're the only ones that was really trying it.